I don't know. But Vergil, he's right there. He's right there. He's been proven that he belongs with the top fighters in the division. And, who knows? A couple of fights or next fight or whatever the case may be.
Terence Crawford has finally answered Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s call-out after Ortiz defeated Erickson Lubin. The undisputed super middleweight champion said Ortiz was aiming too high, but if Ortiz is willing to jump up to weight classes, Crawford would give him the opportunity.
I'd say it could be Crawford next if he's still willing to do it, because that's a fight that I've been calling for a while. I think that's a great fight to make happen still.
I'm at 168, and I don't go back down to any weight class once I move up. So if he really wants it, he needs to make the big jump to 168, and then we can get it done. This time, it seems Ortiz might actually be prepared to make that move. After beating Lubin, he told reporters at the post-fight press conference, "I'm here to fight the best. I don't care who it is. It could be Boots next, it could be Spence next, it could be Crawford next, if he still wants it."
You want to fight Terence Crawford right now?
I would love to fight him, man. I think he's like probably the #1 pound for pound fighter right now.
Do you think he's out of his peak?
No.
Or is he in his peak now?
I think he's in his peak.
And you're saying you could be the peak prime Terence Crawford?
I'm saying I believe that I can.
Ortiz added, "That's a fight I've been asking for a long time. I think it's still a great matchup to make. I'm just going to keep doing what I do best, and that's being myself." Vergil Ortiz Jr. has Terence Crawford, Ortiz-Ennis, and other big names in his sights after stopping Erickson Lubin in the second round. Ortiz improved his undefeated record to 24-0 with 22 knockouts. Fans have been wanting to see him face Ennis for quite a while. After Ortiz beat Lubin, Boots-Ennis entered the ring and confronted him. Ennis had just made his own statement at 154 pounds with a first-round knockout win over Hoya's Malma.
I believe that I can. No, I respect him as a fighter, though. That's the thing. When I want to fight people, it doesn't mean that, I don't like you. Like, let's get it on. It's more like I respect your skills, and I want to see if I can beat you.
Ortiz delivered a dominant showing against what many consider a tougher opponent, which makes an Ortiz versus Ennis fight even more massive right now. Oscar De La Hoya and Ortiz both discussed their next steps after the Lubin win. Robert Garcia said Ortiz has more choices than just Ennis after knocking out Erickson Lubin.
Division, both, it would do really good numbers on pay-per-view, because they should put it on pay-per-view. I think it'll do really good numbers on pay-per-view.
Ortiz needed only 2 rounds to get rid of Lubin, moving to 24-0 and securing his second defense of the WBC interim super welterweight title. The win led to a face-off with Ennis in the ring, hinting that their fight could be next. But Ortiz's trainer, Robert Garcia, believes his fighter has several other big opportunities. "We're ready for anybody, but we have a lot of options," Garcia told SB Nation after the fight.
Fighters, and you named your GOAT as Bud Crawford, and I think a lot of folks are surprised because it's obviously a contemporary, somebody called out in the past. Why did you rank him as your GOAT?
Well, I think this is gonna sound there was a little bit of a misunderstanding. I thought I could only choose one person for GOAT.
Garcia continued, "Sebastian Fundora is our mandatory, and we'd love that fight too. Errol Spence was here, Guillermo Charlo was here, and Boots is here. Any of these big fights could happen. We're ready for all of them." Ortiz currently holds the WBC interim 154 lb title, while Fundora is the regular champion. A unification bout would make sense, but Fundora is still connected to a possible matchup with Keith Thurman. Garcia believes that no matter who Ortiz faces next, it will headline a major pay-per-view. He feels Ortiz has already become a PPV attraction and is close to reaching international superstar status.
As well, and then one of those fights, Crawford was there in the corner, and you were calling him out. You were saying, "Hey, I will take a fight," because they asked you, "Would you like to take a fight with Crawford?" "Yeah, I would like to take a Crawford with him." And moving to today, obviously with his performance against Canelo, do you feel like a fight with Crawford is closer more than ever now?
First, I'll answer the question.
Garcia said, "Right now is the perfect moment for Vergil, a Mexican-American, to become a pay-per-view star, the guy everyone wants to fight because he's their biggest opportunity. If it's Boots, great, that's a huge fight. So is Spence, so is Charlo, so is Fundora, so is Xander Zayas. They're all big fights, and they can turn Vergil into a superstar." Eddie Hearn and Ortiz-Ennis were at ringside for Ortiz Jr. versus Lubin. De La Hoya said they shouldn't have come, because now Boots might be hesitant. He joked, "I told Eddie and Boots not to watch Vergil live because they were going to be afraid of what they saw."
The question, is this the fight that you want next? Vergil Ortiz against Jaron Boots-Ennis.
I think this is the fight that has to happen, man. I think this is it.
It's the best fight in boxing. I think he did a great job. He looked good. But I'm going to show the world why I'm the best in the world. And I'm going to show his team They've been talking all crazy.
De La Hoya added, I'm going to sit down with Eddie Hearn. We clearly have the upper hand, because Vergil is the better man. We'll see if we can make a deal, and I believe we can. He also suggested that Ennis might want another tune-up fight now that he's seen how dangerous Ortiz is. De La Hoya said Ortiz wants to be properly paid in a fight with Boots, who is considered one of the best in the sport right now.
Anyone, you know, if it's a good fight, if I feel like it's gonna be a great fight, which of course with Crawford, that's a no-brainer for sure. We got to get past this fight and we can talk about the future.
WBC interim super welterweight champion Vergil Ortiz Jr. showed his explosive power again by stopping Erickson Lubin just 1 minute and 30 seconds into round 2 at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. The win extended his undefeated streak and sent a strong message to the rest of the division. From the opening bell, Ortiz took control and used his power effectively. Lubin survived the first round, but in the second, Ortiz landed a sharp combination that pushed Lubin into the ropes, forcing the referee to stop the fight.
Talking crazy, and I'm gonna back it up, and I'm gonna show the world why I'm the best in the world. But like I said,
but no one's been talking crazy, bro. Your dad is the first one that said that I was ducking. It's on video. It is on video that he said we ducked and we didn't get no offer.
It don't matter. The time is now. It's that time. Let's get this money and let's make this fight happen.
This strong performance once again proved Ortiz's ability to finish fights in decisive fashion. His speed, power, and accuracy have made him one of the most feared punchers at super welterweight. Fans are now waiting for his next big step among the top contenders. Crawford, in a separate interview, was asked what he plans to do next and whether he and his team have decided. Interestingly, he said he will fight again in 2026. When he returns, his likely opponent will be Dimitri Bivol, as private talks have been happening, and Bivol is my target. That's the only legacy fight right now.
But if you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look
right now, it's at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 though.
This goes against what some others have been calling for. After Crawford's victory, Saudi sports official Turki Alashik suggested a huge fight against David Benavidez, asking if Crawford could still make 168 pounds. Benavidez had previously tried to secure a title shot against Canelo at super middleweight, but never got it and eventually moved up to light heavyweight, with Crawford now the undisputed champion at 168 pounds. A fight between them would give Benavidez the big title opportunity he's been seeking. Experts say that even though Benavidez has a size advantage, Crawford's recent performance against Canelo makes him the clear favorite.
He's earned it. He is the man right now. He's the top gun. He's, I know you got him, Inoue, and Usyk. They all belong in those three. But Crawford probably just put himself on the top of the hill.
It does matter because you said that we're the ones talking. We're not the ones talking. Oh, we started talking after you guys started talking. It's retaliation. It's retaliation.
Your manager's talking all crazy. Oscar's talking crazy. It's the time, and I'll make you pay.
Despite Crawford naming Bivol as his target, some people believe he may retire soon. He just became the first male boxer to become undisputed in 3 different weight classes, has beaten just about everyone available, remains undefeated, and may have made 9 figures from the Canelo fight. Some say he has nothing left to prove. On the other hand, Crawford is now one of the biggest stars in boxing, and retiring now would leave a lot of money unclaimed. He could fight anyone from 154 pounds up to 174 pounds if he wanted, including a massive Canelo rematch.
When you look at these fights, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, say, all right, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off. Me personally,
Boxing legend Teddy Atlas discussed Crawford's options on his podcast, The Fight with Teddy Atlas. He said, "The world is his, and whatever he chooses next, he's earned it. He's the man right now. He's the top guy." Atlas continued, Crawford probably put himself alone at the top of the pound-for-pound list. He gets to choose. He wants to go down in weight, not stay up. He wants to go to 160. I always worry about fighters losing muscle after putting on so much, because it's hard to drop.
Top of the mountain, and he's just... to the victor goes the spoils, baby. He gets to choose. He's special. He showed that. Now he gets to choose. He wants to go down. He doesn't want to stay up there. He wants to go down to 160.
But Bud is smart, Atlas said. His team is smart. He's not dropping too much. It's only 8 pounds, and he can do that without hurting himself. It's entirely his call. Atlas made it clear that he'd prefer Crawford not return to lower divisions, considering how well he performed at 168. And since Crawford no longer has to cut weight there, he may feel the same way.
You know, without him, you know, really wanting to fight and putting forth the effort into doing what he can do along with me to get this fight done, we wouldn't be fighting. So it's only right that I give him that same, you know,
I want and I need. So after I do my thing, you know, Saturday night and be victorious, you know, I feel like it's only big name fights from here on out. You know, only main event headlines and pay-per-view pay-per-view fighting. So that's my goal.
Eddie Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing, said discussions are happening for Crawford to face former unified welterweight champion Ortiz-Ennis, who is preparing for his 154lb debut on October 11th against Hoya's Mal Lima. Hearn told reporters, Terence Crawford versus Ortiz-Ennis is the best fight in American boxing for me, but it has to be a big payday to interest Crawford, because he knows how good Boots is. I'm not saying Crawford thinks he would lose, but he knows it's a real fight. To me, Boots is the new Crawford. We just need the big fights to show how great he is.
That makes a whole lot of sense. And the fight that stylistically would be, oh my goodness, is a fight between Terence Crawford and Ortiz-Ennis. I don't think I think that's going backwards. But for Terence, to that point, Duran doesn't have the kind of accolades. He doesn't sell to the mass and all these. So this fight was perfect timing for both these guys.
During Crawford's post-fight press conference, he said he wouldn't face Ennis because he isn't returning to junior middleweight. For the fight to happen, Ennis would have to meet him at a different weight. Hearn added, Crawford will only come back for big money fights, and only certain matchups can generate that kind of money. You're dealing with a different kind of fighter in Terence Crawford. His IQ is unbelievable. You need real experience and serious skills to compete with him. That's why I like the Boots fight.
It's been a roller coaster, but, you know, we made it to the top. No matter how we made it, you know, and, you know, it's definitely a test to say that anything is possible if you know, work hard at it and you believe in yourself and you have the faith.
Ennis was previously the IBF mandatory challenger for Crawford at 147 pounds. He later moved up to 154 pounds and beat Israel Madrimov for the WBA title. That win elevated Ennis from interim to full champion, and he became both the WBA and Ring Magazine champion after stopping Ortiz-Ennis in April. While preparing for Lima, Ennis also served as a high-level sparring partner for Canelo Alvarez as Alvarez trained to face Crawford.
Understand it, but don't lie or kept to the net and make it seem like I had the opportunity to fight you and I didn't. I never did. You know what I'm saying? And then that one time that I did, we said they called and we said never heard nothing else back about it. So right. I mean, I respect it though. I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But don't be.
Despite the elite training, Alvarez admitted after losing that his body simply didn't respond the way he needed. Hearn said, it was an amazing performance by Terence Crawford. I'm gutted for Canelo, but I'm glad Crawford finally gets the chance to show how great he is. His resume didn't fully show it before. He had good wins, but he could have beaten so many more elite fighters in his era. Doing this at 38 is incredible. A classic Canelo fight.
Canelo fight. Were you surprised by the outcome? It's boxing, you know. They have no doubt. My other question for you is, you know, with this win, everybody said Crawford elevated his status. He's the GOAT. Do you think this win puts him on Mount Rushmore or makes him a GOAT in boxing? Everybody got their own opinion.
People tend to push fighters into retirement quickly, while Crawford could retire on top. Hearn believes he can go down to 160 and win a world title there, making him a 6th division champion. More than 70,000 fans filled Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and over 41 million people watched on Netflix as Crawford earned a close but clear win over Alvarez. Canelo wanted the victory badly, but Crawford didn't let it happen.
Park, South Philly.
Yeah.
All right, so you know they'll kill me if I don't ask you, right?
What?
Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford wins unanimous decision victory.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on the fight?
I was trying to stay up. It was getting too late, y'all. It was like, I think by the time they came on, it was like probably like 1 o'clock or something like that.
It was like 1 and some
change. I trained.
Among the many viewers watching was Ortiz-Ennis, the 28-year-old from Philadelphia, has called Crawford out repeatedly and is constantly compared to the future Hall of Famer.
I think Crawford's going to get the job done. I am officially picking Crawford to win this fight. It is still 50-50, but obviously...
he says that till he goes to Canelo.
I'm obviously going to say that this is a 60-40 fight, and I have Crawford winning this fight. Crawford's gonna win this fight doing something that nobody's done to Canelo.
Okay.
It's gonna help Canelo. He's sparring against a great fighter, world champion in Ennis, and like I said
And
before,
maybe it
iron
will.
sharpens iron, and maybe it
Maybe
will.
it will.
But on the other side, it was interesting to hear your side of how, whether it's the overtraining or I think more the mental side. What if Boots is getting the best of him? How does that affect Canelo going into this fight? Why would you want to even put that doubt in your fighter's head going into such a big fight?
A once-in-a-lifetime fight.
42-0, waving to the crowd, pumping his fists like he does so well.
And a kid on his lap. I love it. Guys, I'm having a hard time hearing you, but it's hard to hear anything because it is loud. The city of Omaha is out. Bud Crawford making his way to the heartland of America.
My opinion is I like who I like. You know, I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Bernard Whitaker. I'm liking Sugar Ray Leonard. I've been watching a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard. Deep Tony. They my top like guys that I've been watching.
And that's everything for now. For the best updates on boxing news, events, and big moments, make sure to subscribe to Boxing Corners and turn on notifications so you never miss high-quality content like this.